But let me ask this, because something that you said earlier kind of caught my eye. You said you didn't know that the speech program had so much that it entailed. What do you mean by that?
So it's a lot of math and science. A lot, yeah. So like statistics, because when we're testing kids, we're a lot of times looking at standardized norms, and we're looking at graphs. So you have to look at it like how to standardize and how do they compare to other kids, which, sometimes a lot of the kids I see, like the things I see are kind of anecdotal, but in order for things to be paid for insurance, you have to verify or prove that they're either improving in their skill or function, or if they aren't, then do the scores match this and why? And so there's a lot of math and science involved. Like speech and hearing science was the hardest class I've ever taken in my entire life. I could cry about it right now. Because like he wasn't even a speech pathologist, but he was like, I don't even know what his actual title was, but he was a scientist. And he would tell us that if we ever worked in a school setting as a speech therapist, that we would have to measure the acoustics of a room because that impacts the speech production. And so he would tell us like to measure a rug and measure curtains and then do all these math equations. And I don't really care for math. I care for English.
Right. Me too.
And so, like I didn't know that. And then just getting into grad school in itself for speech, like it's just our governing board, they make it super difficult. You have to have, I think for every grad student, you have to have a professor, right? And so that's why these grad programs are so small. And so a lot of times they only will accept 20 to 25 students at a time. But then you have these undergrad programs that are pushing out thousands of students. And so like even from my undergraduate studies, I'm the only one of my friend group, maybe there was 5 or 6 of us that's a speech pathologist. Everyone else had to pick other paths in career. So they either were like a teacher or a real estate agent, something like they had to just leave the field completely. They couldn't get into grad school.
Wow. Yeah. Now that I did not.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really sad. Like because
it's really sad, but then it makes me feel really blessed that you made it through, and I got you.
And I mean, there's a shortage of us, and it's not at our like doing, but so then you get into grad school, and then you have these adversities that come your way, right? And then so you're in this graduate program. If you already have a degree in speech or communication disorders, and it should be only a 2-year program, but because it's so hard to get into school and there's not that many schools that offer speech, then you have to leave the state. So that's what I did. So I moved to Alabama for 2 years. And then while you're in school, you're doing your practicum hours. You have 500 or I can't remember now, maybe 400 hours. I think I had 500 because I'm just overachiever. And then you also have to take your praxis, which is like your credentialing test. And then after that, you have your degree. You've done all these hours. You now have 2 degrees, actually. You have 400, 500 hours. You've taken your test. And then you have to find a job. And then you still have to be supervised. You have a fellowship year for 9 years. 9 months. So, like, on the time, so when I first started working with Colin, I would have been still under my clinical fellowship year where I was still supervised. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so like I didn't know all this going into speech. Oh, wow. But it's a lot. And then, grad school just weighs on you. Like I was gone, like I said, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then when do you study? And these tests are not easy at all. And then I was away from home. So I was homesick and like maybe going through a breakup too. So it's a lot. Yeah. And you're not getting paid. Like you're working. I'll never forget, like when I was at these different nursing home placements,